This is the Coin Show Podcast.
A podcast about coins and coin collecting from the perspective of both dealers and collectors. Hosted by two guys with a passion for collecting and a combined experience of over 50 years in the coin industry. Here's Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman on the Coin Show Podcast.
It is, episode 217 of the Coin Show Podcast. I'm Mike. And with me tonight is a special guest, our friend, our colleague, the millennial numismatist, Russ Vega.
Senor, how are you?
Absolutely. I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for being our guest tonight.
Somebody has to make sure that Matt gets better.
There you go. So Matt's a little under the weather. So in the interim tonight, Russ has decided to fill in for him. And so we're going to get right to it. Tonight on this episode of the Coin Show Podcast, we are going to do Your Coolest Thing. We have a brand new segment featuring our friend here, Russ Vega, as well as just some general mirth and merriment. But first, as always, the news. The news is brought to you by light bulbs. Safer than candles for over 140 years. Light bulbs. So, Russ, here, let's see what we've got this week. It's not breaking news, but it's kind of big. So, the U.S. Mint has announced the addition of a weight room to their orders site, and not your kind of weight room either. This is going to be an ante room for customers of the U.S. Mint website.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a long time coming, to be real honest. If anybody that has tried to order anything from the Mint, especially really popular stuff, I mean, I know we all went through it with the Morgans and the Peace Dollars, a couple years ago. I'm surprised this is the first time they're even attempting to do it. I love the United States Mint. I love everybody that works with the United States Mint. But I am prepared to be completely flummoxed of how they screw this one up.
Well, I mean, look, let's not sell them short. There's got to be some way that they can absolutely make a just complete mess out of this. My thought is that so what they're telling you is that no longer will you be able to just kind of camp out on the website and wait. Now what they're going to do is it's going to, put everybody into a waiting room, which is really kind of a link to a different place. And so they're going to have the actual, they're going to have what they need to get it done to handle big volumes of people. So I'm actually pretty confident in that regard. But I think that getting to the waiting room is going to somehow present a problem. So you fill that one in on your bingo card. We'll see what happens.
I mean, it seems like, again, I think the Mint does the very best they can. But, at the end of the day, they are a government entity. And when they do things like this, they're usually not doing it in-house. And they're farming it out to the lowest bidder. And it doesn't always work out well. But
it works.
I am cautiously optimistic.
Well, it's good. I'm glad that somebody here can still be optimistic. So, Russ, I know that you're a veteran of recent vintage.
I am.
You purchased one of these?
I thought about it, and I did not, mainly because the $175 price tag for 2.5 ounces of silver. I'm too much of a bullion dealer now, I think. I just couldn't justify it. I really do like the design.
Yeah, you get your bullion cheaper than that? Is that what it is? Or you're going to wait for one to come in? Well, here's the thing, and this goes right to the next one. It's too late now.
It is. It is too late. They sold out really quick.
Sold out. 1 week,
yeah, and I'm
done.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely see why they sold out. I mean, the reverse with the flag and the streamers is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I think that's probably one of the best pieces of metallic art from the U.S. Mint I've seen in quite a while. They captured.
See, I like the obverse. I
like. I think I have again. I was an infantry guy for a long time, and I nitpick little things that
Okay.
M16 is a little silly.
Okay.
Um, but no, I mean I like the reverse mainly because I've done things like I've carried the colors, and having those battle streamers and stuff is really cool because that's what those are. Those are battle streamers. The army flag has every battle streamer that the army has ever participated in, and then individual units on their colors they have every streamer that they participated in. So it's really cool, and then it's got the 7 army values on the directly opposite the flag, which is pretty cool. I think they did a really good job with this. I've been waiting for this one. I was actually surprised that it took them this long to do it. When the Air Force, the Coast Guard, the Navy, and the Marine Corps get a medal before you, and you're the oldest branch, you're kind of like, hang on a minute, where's my medal?
Well, they saved the best for last, apparently.
That's right.
There you go. The United States Mint is also boasting a string of okay, they're boasting an initial sales of 2023 silver proof eagles of 400,000. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
lot for the launch of a a yearly product that everybody knows is coming. And
it
actually,
is.
that's down from last year.
I was gonna say it's almost a 40% drop from last year.
No. That's the congratulations set.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It is the congratulations.
Yeah. But yes, I mean, still, it's like, 400,000, 420,000 silver eagles, proof silver eagles in one shot. And it's like, how many are they going to make?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I'm probably not the right person to talk about these because I think you of course know how I feel about modern mint stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of it. I mean, I do like proof silver eagles. I think they're a perfectly valid thing to buy and collect. Um, but with the price tag of them and kind of what they are, I am surprised that it's that high. I mean, that's a lot. I wonder what the breakdown would be of your average Joe collector buying a couple to squirrel away or one for their set, and what is the ever present speculators. But that's of course conjecture.
Well, at least, you have fewer of the bulk sales in here now because of the bulk program that they're doing with the Eagles, with the proof Eagles. And they go out with no box, no docs, just the coins themselves. So they do that for the people that are just going to submit Monster Box after Monster Box to grading services anyway. So, there will also be probably another mint mark coming later in the year. These probably will sell out just like the other ones did last year. The W Mint sold out early, and then they released an S Mint later in the year, and those sold out. They've been doing pretty well at selling out. 2 different Silver Eagles every year now for a couple of years.
I mean, they have, and I think that there is something to say for that. I mean, there's obviously demand for it. Again, I
Beautiful
would like
coin.
it is. It's a good looking coin. The new Type 2. I really love the Type 2. We've had it for a couple years now, and I haven't gotten sick of it yet. So, hopefully
Well,
we
the
can
other
get
one had gotten so stale. I think that's what it was. Is it was just so stale that there was just no saving it.
I agree.
I'm looking at it after 30 years, 35 years. The American Liberty gold coin and silver medal images have been unveiled.
Yeah.
So these are the ultra high reliefs. And these are always really cool to see the new designs that they come up with. Last year, the bucking bronco. This year, Liberty Tree.
Yeah. Obviously I love the imagery. That's a very handsome eagle they did. It's nice to see an eagle in a different pose than we're used to a little bit. It's kind of reminiscent of the peace dollar, which is pretty cool. I mean, I like a good, different take than, like a heraldic eagle, like the old type 1 silver eagle and things like that. The Liberty Tree, I think, is an incredibly interesting subject for them to pick. So I'm glad that they did that. It's a little bit different than what I kind of think of as a Liberty Tree. So I kind of like the artistic um bent on it a little bit. But
Sure.
yeah, I mean, it's and I'm a sucker for the silver medals. I could never spend the kind of money on like an ultra high relief personally. So I think the silver, I think it's great that they do the silver medals as well because it really does help people that they love the design, they appreciate the art, but they don't want to spend all that money on an ultra high relief 1 ounce gold coin. That's a hard ask for a lot of people.
Well, and it's funny because now that you've mentioned it, I look at the tree, and my first thought when I saw this tree on it was Charter Oak, right? Connecticut, Kamem, big tree. And now that I really look at it, it kind of looks like kind of bonsai-esque.
It does look very bonsai-esque.
So I don't know. I like it. I love the artwork, and I like the fact that the US Mint is giving different offerings that are heavy on the art end of this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the artistic infusion program, and then obviously, the citizens coinage advisory, I think are huge for you know keeping our coins fresh. I will say that I guess my only gripe about the program is it doesn't seem to trickle down so much into the circulation kind of coins. Because again, I love these; these are great, but to be really honest, who's going to see them except coin people like us?
Well, do they or do they not? I mean, you say they don't trickle down, but I mean, when was the last time you looked at the Innovation Dollar program?
So again, yes, the innovation dollar, super great, love it.
Right, but this is my point, right? So it's yawn. Yeah, I get it, but so you've got five innovation dollars every year, and you've got 5 quarters every year. So I don't know. I just think that maybe it has trickled down a little bit further than you think.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, so definitely, I think the women quarter program it definitely has, and people are noticing them. I mean, you and I, we see plenty of people that come into the shop that we work in that, bring them in thinking they're something special because they're different, and that's great. But I mean, the innovation dollars, they're a dollar coin. Nobody uses them. We give them as strange change in our shop, but other than that, they don't
They're
circulate.
really hard to find.
They are hard to find.
No, it's like I like them.
Oh, I
They're odd enough to the point where I have actually put away a set. The United States Mint has also announced a price increase this week for the upcoming Morgan and Peace dollars. And look, I don't know how you can raise the price on something that you haven't released yet.
I agree, but I also think there's an important caveat to that. As someone we both know would probably say markets are moving. Um,
It make me spit out my drink.
yeah, well, I got to keep it
Markets
interesting.
are moving, but they're moving the other direction, dude. It's like the
They
price
are,
of these went up when silver
well,
went down.
yes, but as I will allude to in a later article that we're going to get to, um, physical silver and bullion in general is being produced at pretty high numbers, and there's a lot of demand. I think that this honestly is reflecting a large change in the cost of production. And again, I don't agree with it. I mean, I'm down for sets myself. I would much rather pay the $67 original price, but I think unfortunately I think it's just something with the times. I don't agree with it, but from a practical understanding, I get it.
Okay, and this is one of the things where I'm a complete out of the box thinker on it, right? So this is why I don't like it. One, you probably shouldn't have set the price on the coins already, right? Because there's so many things that can happen between now and the time that you're actually going to produce them. Two, even if you have started producing them, the mint owns this silver at way less than spot price. And so because of that, I don't understand, why you've got to move what $9 on something
No, and again, I don't disagree. I
I
don't know.
just think they were premature in announcing the prices. I think they're premature in raising the prices and are only really setting themselves up to be, to be bashing their customers one more time with this club.
No, I agree. And I mean, they really do have to be really careful about, especially with this program, because, everybody got excited for 2022 dated stuff. And then obviously that didn't happen. And then, when they first announced this program, it was, when are they going to come out? And then, things got moved and, you're not going to see the reverse set. One, they made the reverse proofs a set. You can't buy them, individually. I don't care about the Morgans personally. I like the piece dollar design, but of course I'm down for a set because I want the reverse piece.
Right.
So, they are kind of shooting them. They potentially are shooting themselves in the foot. I think that's for sure.
In case you're concerned that the Mint may not have their eyes on the prize, they really do. I mean, the Mint produced over 1 billion coins, for circulation in February, right? So this is really good production. It's let's see, 12.2 and 16.3% down last year. So, we really kind of needed the production. They needed more coin.
Yeah.
But okay. Why do I mention mid production? Because it's getting ridiculous. This is something that everybody can agree is stupid and wasteful, right? Because if you look at the next article, a penny now costs 2.72 cents to make. A nickel costs 10.41 cents to make. And the Mint is still pulling in 310 million in seniorage.
Which is pretty darn impressive considering you have two coins that are losing to the tune of double and triple. And
you're making them by the hundreds of millions.
Yeah. It's funny. I feel like as Americans, we have this really weird relationship with the penny, especially like coin people. I mean, pennies are the bane of my existence, making change. I know plenty of people that throw pennies away because they don't even want to deal with them. Like it's literally worth nothing. What do they care? Um, but I really feel like the minute the U.S. Mint or the federal government announces we are no longer making pennies, there is going to be just an uproar from every kind of news media you can imagine. Just
What, people are going to stop throwing them on the ground?
I'm telling you that it'll be this is an attack on my heritage as an American. I haven't used a penny in 30 years, but we're fickle people, man.
You would think that people have already espoused that belief with the way that, look, it is our process of government being slow, right, to change that has been the problem here. It's not that the Mint keeps on making them, it's that the Mint has to keep making them. So, it has to come from Washington. It needs congressional action, and therein lies the huge problem.
Yeah, no, I mean you're exactly right. It's not like the Mint can unilaterally make a decision. It's got to come from legislation. And, the our process of being slow is not a bug, it's a feature, for better or for worse.
It's not a bug, it's a feature. You sell cars.
Yeah, I mean I can sell anything if you want.
Bet.
You know one? I got a bridge for sale in London if you want it. Beachfront property in Wyoming. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I just think that this is something that everybody, regardless of your politics, we can all agree that this is stupid and it's wasteful. I mean, it just is. You should not have a coin, that costs. I mean, look, 2.72 cents, right? So that means that the U.S. Mint could have banks calling in pennies for 1.50 cents or 2 cents a piece, and they'd still be making a profit on it.
no, I mean I don't tip my hat to our hat very often, our friendly northern neighbors, but they got it right when they got rid of their 1 cent coin. Um, I really do think it's
10
just a
years
matter of
ago.
I really do think it's just a matter of time. I think my bold prediction is by 2025, the latest 2027, it'll be gone. It's not feasible or sustainable anymore.
I agree 100%, but it's never going to happen. Speaking of America's hat, the Royal Canadian Mint is celebrating the 35th anniversary of the Maple Leaf coins with a 5-ounce hockey puck of their own.
The Royal Canadian Mint is one of the most wildest organizations in the entire world. If the U.S. Mint is, I don't know, it's funny. It's like the U.S. Mint is like this really conservative kind of thing. We only do a couple of things a year. We have all these laws and stuff. And the Royal Canadian Mint, I kind of feel like they're like our drunk cousin that you bring out once in a while, and he just says some wild stuff and just does all kinds of crazy stuff, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but it's like you got Superman maple leafs, and you got all kinds of crazy stuff. 1.25, 1 3/4 ounce maple leafs that they've done. They do all kinds of crazy stuff, and I love them for it. I really do.
Yeah, there is definitely no shortage of product that comes out of the RCM. And, the one thing that I'll give them credit on is that they keep the mintage numbers on them really low. So regardless of what the interest in them is, they sell out, and that helps other coins and it helps things along.
I mean, this thing has a mintage of 2000, and it's an ultra high relief. And what I love about the Canadians too is when they say ultra high relief, like, I mean, it's not like, oh yeah, you can tell that's kind of high relief. Like, no, this thing is, you could probably climb it if you really wanted to. It's that high.
Yeah, it's those maple leafs are really out there. And something that you and I are familiar with, the 4th coin in South Africa's Big 5 program is now available. So this coin features a leopard.
I absolutely love these. So if you guys don't know, these are actually, they're not really the answer from South Africa to the buffalo, but they kind of are. They're a 24 karat, they're a 999 fine answer. They've had the Krugerrand for so long. I kind of see these as kind of their attempt to fill that niche, because everybody, most countries now, don't do a 22 karat. They do 999 fine. And honestly, these really aren't that expensive. I know personally that you can get these for comparable to something like a Philharmonic, or cheaper than a Buffalo for sure. And the artwork on them is gorgeous, and there's something you don't see all the time. So, frankly, if you're in the market for some gold bullion, I really think you might want to check one of these out instead of going for Eagles. But that's just me.
Now, one of the things that I'll say, and I don't know if we might have to do a little research on this, because the leopard, I mean, they're only going to make 200,000 of these coins, or 20,000 of these coins. 20,000, that's it. So if the other coins have had similar numbers to that, we are definitely undercharging for elephants.
Yeah, I actually don't know off the top of my head what the,
because I was looking at the mintage on this. If you look down the page a bit, it shows you 20,000 for the 5 rand, which is your, that's oh wait a minute, that's the silver, 2,000 gold ones.
Yeah, I think that's gotta be,
this one's got to be a special, and that's
this is, yeah, they don't show the
there you go, that's what it is. It's the uncirculated coins are going to be plentiful.
Yeah, they're plentiful, and again, they really are a good design. There hasn't been a dud in the bunch. I hope that they figure out something once this program is finished, because it can only go until next year because it's the Big 5. I really do hope they pick something like the elephant design, or keep going with it as a bullion coin. The Krugerrand is South Africa, and gold bullion they're well known for a reason. I think they would be very amiss if they didn't keep doing something like this in 999 fine, but only time will tell.
It seems like this has a different aura about it. I come from a generation that remembers the apartheid government in South Africa, and that was kind of a problem when, Krugerrands really first came out, and why the U.S. wanted to answer it with the Eagle program, because we really, gold was becoming very popular, and the U.S. government stepped in, and that's why the Eagle is the same fineness as a Krugerrand is because it was literally an answer to it.
Yeah, I mean, even today, to be very honest, I find the Krugerrand a little gross. I don't like handling them all that much. I mean, we have a joke in the shop that, you get one and all of a sudden you have 20 or 30. They really do multiply. Um, and yeah, I mean, there's a reason that they're cheap. They're one of the cheapest bullion coins out there to buy on the secondary market in a shop, and that's because they are still they're kind of gross. I mean, they just have this weird aura about them. It feels a little dark. I don't like them. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to sell me one at $40 over melt, I'll buy all the ones that you could give me.
Sure.
But, yeah, they're kind of
right. The Royal Mint is issuing a new series of coins based on myths and legends. So this is another one of these great series. But you know what? Check out who is on these coins.
Yeah.
So you're going to have King Arthur on a 1 ounce silver coin and a 1 ounce gold coin. But you'll also have Robin Hood and Maid Marian were Robin Hood was 2021. Maid Marian was 2022. King Arthur is 2023. They also did a Little John in 2022. So it's a series that they continue to do. They're priced competitively with bullion.
Yeah, I mean, I think the UK does, they're kind of like Canada. They do some really out there kind of things. I mean, I know we all love the Queen Bee series, and when you can get like chunky 2 ounce kind of things with kind of crazy designs on them. I mean, I know you have a unicorn, I have a unicorn and a black bull of Clarence and some other crazy stuff. They're fun. The Royal Mint, I think they kind of have to be in that realm because they just, they can't match the production of a country like Canada or the US in bullion. They just can't. I mean, we just have way more availability.
Here's
And
my
way more.
question for you. Which side is heads?
That's a good question.
Just saying. Let's see. An amazing 1 kilo gold ingot from Assayers Kellogg and Humbert sold at a recent auction of items from the USS or the SS Central America.
Yeah. I really think that in my little bit of experience lately, shipwreck stuff is getting really popular again. I know anecdotally, we've had plenty of people come in and ask for shipwreck stuff. I've exhibited some shipwreck stuff that we have, and there's always interest in it. I mean, it's a cool thing to be able to hold something that came up from a shipwreck. Something that it's already historical, but it's like, wow, this was actually in the water at some point. Somebody had to find it. And I mean, the Central America it's a cash cow. It always is. It always will be.
Well, I mean, this is a kilo of gold, man. I mean, it's kilo of gold. What's retail on a kilo of gold right now?
Current spot,
The guy that
golly.
handles the gold desk. You tell me.
I mean, you're in the 30,000 plus range. I
Okay.
mean,
So the hammer on this was $138,000.
yeah. So I mean, you figure a kilo of gold at melt right now, say $61,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, you're paying, double
That
easily.
doesn't seem to me to be too big a premium. It really doesn't. Not for something this historically significant as something that is this, just nice. It's a
Yeah,
brick.
it is. But again, it's one of those weird pieces. It's like, okay, how many guys have $130,000 to drop? How many people have $60,000 to drop on just the melt value? And then you're like, but it is what it is, which is cool. But I'm gonna need more than that.
Well, what I
And
think is just intrinsically interesting about this though is the fact that it has not been melted even since being brought up. I mean, it is worth enough money to the point where I can see somebody wanting to just melt it.
I mean, man, there's stuff like that everywhere though. There's a what is it? There's some Italian shipwreck or some nonsense with like delivery.
Georgia.
Oh, it's not even that. It's some wreck that went off. It went down somewhere. I don't remember about it completely. I've been drinking since then. But it's a delivery bar. It's 1,000-ounce bars of silver that, people want a decent premium for. It's a World War II wreck, and I get it. Again, it's cool, but I don't know that I could justify paying something like 20, 30, 40% over melt on a delivery bar of silver when I can usually get it, if I know the right person, for like a quarter over
Just
melt.
for provenance.
Exactly. I don't know if Provenance is, we're not ancient guys.
Right. This is, this Kellogg and Humbert, which is historically, great, but same time, just saying. An amazing error will come to market for the very first time this year. So this is a coin that's never been on the market ever.
Yeah. This is going to be
1943, 25 cents struck on a steel cent planchet.
This is going to be interesting. The error market, I think, is still pretty hot. I'm really surprised that this has never appeared, considering it isn't an old soapbox holder.
That's the thing, is it's not unknown. It has just never come up for sale.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would say the sky's the limit, but I mean, I don't know. What are they saying now? After starting at a $1 bid,
23.50, 20 with 27 bids being recorded.
So it's interesting. I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about.
It's an off metal error, and it's an off metal error on the 1 year. And it's like, see okay, so it's the correct date. The quarter being a 43.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't think this is
Really cool.
a San Francisco Mint special of the 1970s. I think this is probably a genuine error.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested in the corrosion, because you would think that someone would go, well, this is weird, and would have put it away for a little while, but again, hindsight's 20.
But just a very cool error. Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Kentucky has ended its sales taxes on gold and silver. So I think that this is going to pave the way for more business to be done in Kentucky, maybe even an A&A in Louisville, which I think is a really nice central location, much as Indianapolis is, Chicago, St. Louis. If you get to these Midwestern cities, Cincinnati even, I think, would be great. But the problem, becomes sales tax.
Yeah. I mean, they were a little behind the curve. I mean, they're the 42nd state now to get rid of sales tax on, gold, bullion, numismatics in some cases, in a lot of cases. I think that you're going to be seeing, I mean, there are going to be holdouts in everything, of course, but with the way markets are now and the way that people are wanting to put away physical metal, I think that it's really just a matter of time until pretty much everybody else falls in line. So this isn't really that surprising. I'm actually surprised Kentucky didn't have this already, for being a sort of southern state, pretty red.
Yeah, fairly conservative. You would think that they would be, down on sales tax, but apparently not.
But I mean, I am glad to see it. I do think it'll help their bullion sales. And I think it's just good for everybody, to be very honest. So
attendees of summer seminar will have a new option in grading classes. So this year, NGC experts Ben Wengel and Rick Montgomery are going to teach at the summer seminar. If I'm not mistaken, they're going to teach session 2, which is really great, because what you could do is you could take session 1 with the PCGS grader with Steve Feltner and Mike. Oh God, Now I'm blanking on his name. Mike from Kagan's, Mike McCarthy. And you could take that one in session 1, and then you could take session 2 with the NGC guys.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be doing their course is called Advanced Study of World Coinage. So yeah, I mean it's very interesting. What I think they're kind of it's not so much burying the lead, but I think just as important is if you look, there is a little blurb here saying NGC will also sponsor up to 4 applicants with a summer seminar scholarship. And if you kind of read the tone of this article, um, they mention that they will be on the lookout for new talent at this summer seminar in this class. I think this is kind of a way for NGC to try to identify some possible people that may be good to come work for them as well. They're going through their own little bit of turmoil, as is all of the grading industry right now, and I think they are probably in need of some new talent. So,
Well, I mean, look, the grading industry always needs new talent, right? If they're good at it, they really need it. But yes, there's a lot of new entry with CAC coming along. You're going to need more graders, and you're going to need more experienced graders. So I think that is definitely something where they can farm the summer seminar for it. Steve Feltner, who is the head of education for PCGS, tells the story about him being at summer seminar and them watching how he graded coins and kind of pulling him off to the side. And hey, it's like, we'd like to talk to you. And that was how he got his job. Yes, which is kind of cool.
yeah, I mean, I went to summer seminar when I was a kid twice on scholarship, and it really is one of the best experiences. Anybody in this hobby, or even if you're in this field and you're as a professional watching, if you haven't gone, you should go, if you can swing it, because it really is one, it's a great place to learn, but two, I think more importantly is the connections you make there. I have friends in the industry that I've known literally since I was 14 years old. That we went to summer seminar together as kids. So, you make a whole heck of a lot of friends, you have a really good time, and you absolutely learn a whole lot. It's absolutely worth the pittance of a tuition you pay to go. Because
And the area is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're leaving out all the natural beauty of Colorado. It's in a high desert, so there's not a lot of rain. There's not a lot of and there are deer everywhere.
Yeah, I'm from about an hour north of there.
Let's see. Our friend Jack Young is at it again. So this time the dark side visits an authenticated 1909 SVDB fake.
I swear, Jack gets up to more shenanigans than just about anybody I know, and I absolutely love every single article he ever posts. I don't know how he has the energy to do what he does, but it's eminently impressive. And I think that if you're not reading his articles, you're missing out on a lot because he points out things that even someone like me, who I mean, I'm pretty good at authentication. I do a lot of authentication in the shop, especially with like O9S VDBs. I really did not realize this whole little bit here about the shallow end reverse. That's not a diagnostic I ever picked up on. I always looked at mint mark positions, shapes, styles, and then if all else fails, looking at the VDB.
Right. Which on this coin is bad as well.
Yeah, but this is a diagnostic that I had never really paid all that much attention to. And I'll tell you right now, I will absolutely start paying attention to it.
Yeah, this one is going to kind of go up. It's going to get posted next to our desks for the next couple of weeks. And, we'll kind of learn what's going on with this and look for it. But yeah, I mean, Jack does an absolute service to the hobby. And that's why anytime he posts something, news, that's just, it's a must.
Absolutely.
Yeoman's work. God bless Jack. And finally, in the news is marathon news. So you say you want to be a coin dealer. Stacks Powers Galleries has announced that they are going to start a new professional numismatist program.
I love everything about this. Mainly because I was actually having this conversation. I have this conversation a lot with people when I tell them what I do for a living. Um, I tell them I'm a numismatist, and they kind of look at me and they look at me funny. And
What's that? You collect stamps?
I sell other people's money for more money.
That's right.
And you explain the job to them, and they go, "Oh, well, where did you go to school for that? What did you do?" And you go, "There's no school for this. You just learn. You just learn as you go. Maybe you go to summer seminar if you're lucky. But a lot of it is you're a collector first, and you realize you're pretty good at it, and you find someone crazy enough to give you a shot, and you prove your mettle, and you start doing it, or you do it on your own. Um, So this is not the case in Europe, where numismatics is really considered a academic pursuit. And I think we kind of lose something here in the US by not having that. I've had this conversation with some professors that I've had. I did a lot of classical studies, a lot of ancient Roman stuff, and I bring up coins, and they're like, I have no idea about coins. Like I don't deal with that. But in Europe, it's very much the opposite, and coins are really are a primary source. Um, so I love that Stacks is putting together something for possibly budding professionals. And I love that. I kind of love what this signals, because I think this kind of harkens back to what we were talking about with NGC, doing, this new bit at summer seminar where they say they're looking out for talent. And now Stacks is saying, hey, like we'll have you come out and you can play with us. And again, they're going to be
And I
looking for
think
talent.
this clearly is a farm for talent. I mean, they are looking for people. They, even mentioned in the article that for exceptional students, paid positions and internships may be available immediately.
Yeah. And so what that tells me is that our hobby and our profession is strong, and it's getting stronger, which in an unsure economy like we're in, when you just had, like, I don't know, 2 banks fail and some other craziness that's been going on for the last couple of years, I think that says a lot about the industry itself. And I'm just a huge fan of it. I really think Stacks is doing a huge service to all of us in the community. So absolute kudos to them.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think that it does speak to the health of our hobby. I think that it definitely says that it's more of a profession, right? But I also think that it says that there is a lot of technical knowledge that's necessary in this business. And I think that it's the technical knowledge that really separates, the wheat from the chaff in what you're doing.
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, there are guys that are really good at what they do. And they're almost savants. I mean, they just, look at Jack. I mean, that's years and years and years of honing his craft.
He's only 16. Oh, you're talking about Jack Young.
Oh, no. Other Jack. No,
Okay.
Jack Young.
Okay.
Not our Jack. But I mean, yeah, I mean, he's got this technical knowledge that he has honed for years, and he's fantastic at it. But again, there was no formal training for that.
No, and he goes at it like the EAC guys go at Coppers. I mean, he really does it with that type of expertise and that type of. So that was the marathon version of the news. And the news was brought to us tonight by light bulbs, safer than candles for over 140 years. Light bulbs.
You're listening to the Coin Show Podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman.
So I have been really looking forward to this because we have not only a new friend here in Russ, but we have a brand new treat for you guys that will bring Russ to the fore. So I introduce to you Russ Bega and the club scene.
All right. So the club scene is a new segment we're going to start working on. Basically, the idea of this is we want to really highlight clubs all around the country, big clubs, small clubs, all of the clubs. So my quick down and dirty introduction is I am a president of a local coin club here in my neck of the woods, which is northern Indiana, up near the Illinois border. We have the Goodfellow Coin Club and we have the Calumet Numismatic Club. They're basically one club. We meet 1 week apart from each other for reasons I don't pretend to understand, but we've been doing it that way for a very long time. I'm the new kid on the block, and I somehow got voluntold that I should do this. So I've been doing this since the beginning of the year. Um, it's if you've never experienced a coin club, you absolutely need to, because it's a place where a bunch of other nerds like yourself get together, and you meet a whole lot of interesting people. The occasional weirdo, but even the occasional weirdo can be fun. Um, in addition to that, yeah, and teach you something, especially teach you something. In addition to that, I'm also obviously a member of a bunch of national clubs. So uh, this is kind of my first outing with the boys, really. So I'm for anybody that doesn't know me, which is going to be a lot of you, I'm a Seated Liberty guy. So I am a member of the Seated Liberty or the Liberty Seated Collectors Club. I just wrote an article for them about a really cool coin we had come in. I've got some more in the pipe. That's what I specialize in. That's what I love. So I'm a pretty active member there. Of course, you have all the regular kind of, things people are a part of, the big regional ones, Central State, um, Illinois Numismatics, things like that. And then I am also a longtime member of the ANA. I owe the ANA a lot. So when I found out that I could be a district representative, I decided that I was going to be a district rep. So I am the district rep for Northern Indiana. So basically, what that means is I just kind of help promote the ANA and help clubs, um, with things that the ANA can help out with, um, things like that.
Also help select people for the Hunger Games.
Yes, occasionally. Um, but yeah, so clubs are a really important part of this hobby. I think that we're going to see a lot more growth. I'll tell you from, again, anecdotally, the two clubs that I'm a part of here, they've grown pretty substantially in the last year. We're getting a lot more new blood, and that's because you bring in one person, you start to bring in more. So if you are a member of a club, I really, really highly suggest you to find, a friend that's interested in and bring them in, because that's how you get new blood in clubs. Really kind of our hope for this club scene, as we're calling it, is to help, smaller local clubs and even, national clubs really get the attention they deserve and grow those clubs and help people that are, officers in the club or even just regular members, get more out of their clubs, because clubs are what you put into them. As a kid, I was in a really, really great club. I'm actually just got into contact with a guy that really kind of took me under his wing when I was a kid. Um, and, they gave me count them, two scholarships to summer seminar as a kid. So yeah, I mean, clubs are really, really important, and it's something we would like to see grow. So
I belong to a club as well. I'm an honorary member of the Elgin Coin Club here in Chicago in Elgin, Illinois. And they are more of a traditional club. The one thing that I like about going to club meetings is, there are going to be a lot of the traditional things, show and tell, contests, YN auctions, things like that. But as I think we've proved with this podcast, that if you like something and you want to give it your own spin, you can do that. And you can make it modern, and you can bring some new things into your club, and you can make it cool if you want to. That's not to say that they're not the way they are, but they're only cool to the people that are there and to the people that show up and do the work. So put yourself into it, and I think that you just get more enjoyment out of it.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, again,
So is there a
clubs are.
place where they can send you their announcements, or other club related things?
There is, and I think you, who has the voice for radio and also the
And a
face,
look
should.
for radio. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should announce that so I don't butcher it.
So what is that? Are we talking clubs at coinshowradio.com?
Clubs at coinshowradio.com. Send us all of the things pertaining to your local clubs. your regional clubs, your national clubs. We want to hear all about them. We want to highlight them. If we, small local coin shows are a big thing. I try to go to as many as I can get to, and if there are some within driving distance of me, I would love to get to them as well. That's kind of the network we're trying to build here.
And
So
I'll also tell you that whatever you send, we will post on Friends of the Coin Show in our group. So it will be there for other people to see, for other people locally. You can check there to see if somebody else has posted club stuff near you. Okay, so we are just bouncing along. So we have one final thing to do in this episode. This is probably some people's favorite part of this show. I know it's one of mine. So I would direct your attention to their coolest things. Let's see, we gotta find it. Let's see, are they on? Let's see, your coolest thing. All right. So we're gonna start with J.R. Preston, who brings us this beautiful 1909 SVDB in AU58 with a CAC green bean on it. Really nice coin. Jody Dotson brings us a beautiful 1942 Canadian quarter, MS63, dual graded ICCS and CCCS. Say that 10 times fast.
yourself, Mike.
Brian Bass. He picked up a couple of seated dollars in a collection. So these are right up your alley, Russ.
You know me.
Yeah. So he's got an 1849 and an 1872 seated dollar. Love seated dollars.
They're tough.
Russ loves them a little bit more than most. And Brian says, here's also a little something cool I picked up. A little bit of spicy Mike's. Aaron Fellows says, this is fresh from Las Vegas, 1922, no D. Strong reverse, good for. Really solid coin. Joshua Wright, an Annex Good 6 fold over lamination Lincoln Cent. So this one does not have a date on it. Matt got so he got this one from Matt. Bought it from the Last Dutchman Rare Coins eBay page. And here's our friend Jack Young. Jack, is this fake?
I don't trust anything that Jack posts. It's all got to be fake.
So Jack says he loves his early large cents. New Dark Corner Coin Week article coming. Yes, we knew and we covered it and we loved it. Adam Sutton has a 24-piece dollar VAM 1AA. This one has the broken jaw, so it has the die crack going across the jaw.
Love East Dollar VAMs because they are such an underrated thing, and you can cherry pick the heck out of them.
That's a tip for you young collectors out there. Let's see, Jerry Goshen, newer addition to my extended US typeset. So this one is a Pilipinas. This is Russ's bailiwick in the shop. All the Philippine coins go to Russ's desk.
Yes.
Really
the
nice.
Ones I don't.
$58, or this is a peso, not a dollar. And the ones you don't what?
I said even the ones I don't want. And
That's
up on
true.
my desk.
Oh, trust me, it's everybody has something they don't want that ends up on their desk in our shop. The Slab Daddy got a new sample. So this one is the United States Navy 236th birthday ball from Tampa, but yet they put a main quarter in it. Scratch. Delbert Channels picked up this Standing Liberty quarter for $8 in an auction lot, hoping it's the 18/17S version. It appears to have the die clash by the knee and the raised point in the step to the left of the right star. Good luck on that one. He's gonna have to send that one off and have it certified. Josh Benevento, a rare coin from the expansion of Charlemagne. So this is the Lombard's Beneventum. I wonder why he likes that. So this is Grimwald III with Charlemagne, King of the Franks. Very cool. Joe Bohannon, 1795 half dollar and fine 15. Did the Eagles used to be punier than they are today?
They were scrum. Yeah, Big
Well,
Max
yeah,
didn't.
this is a small eagle reverse. You know, what is it with 1795 half dollars? Seems like we see a lot of those lately.
Yeah, they've kind of been coming out of the woodwork, haven't they?
Yeah. No other date, just 1795.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a reason for it. Good luck finding a 94 you can afford.
Right. Well, Dave Nelson, looking forward to receiving this one back from PCGS any day now. So this is a Pilgrim with some toning. I'm assuming he knows what the grade is. He's got the cert number. We could look it up. What do you think, Russ?
I'm having a hard time seeing it. I'm still catching up because I'm not.
The toning on this is definitely original, but I struggle to call it attractive. And it might just be the true view. Maybe not the coin. The coin is probably much better in hand.
Yeah, I haven't really
It looks
been.
like it has some blue in it and some green, but the true view just basically shows this kind of rusty color.
Here we go. Let's see. Now I can see it. Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard man. Oh man. I don't know. I kind of like that. I kind of like that a little bit. I'm a sucker for it.
Definitely unk. I mean, there's no circulation on this thing at all.
Oh, not at all. It's definitely a nice unk coin.
Yeah.
I think
I just struggle with the toning.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I have a hard time capturing good toning anyway.
Right.
Even when I'm doing photography, I mean, I like to think I'm decent at coin photography most of the time, but sometimes it's just you got to see stuff in hand.
Yeah, and I think that's probably this.
Probably.
Nice coin, Dave. Oh, let's see. Taffy Coins. Kyle Dugan found this 42 over 41 Mercury Diamond in auction lot I picked up. Not a bad pickup for 2 pounds. So that makes 2 of us that have found 42 over ones in the wild.
Yeah, well, some people are just luckier than other people, I guess.
Let's see. Carl Lind, 1858 Flying Eagle set. I never knew my grandfather was a collector. This is one of his. It is worn, but I love it. Those are the best kind. Jason Noland, his 32D. That's a nice, solid coin. James Crandall, 1783 Mexico, 1 real from El Cazador.
Cazador.
So this I like these coins, and they show you exactly what they should, which is a shipwreck finish. It's like the surface on this is just absolutely bashed from being in the salt water all that time.
Yeah. Again, those are getting pretty popular lately, it seems like.
Ash Dobbs, this is perhaps my coolest coin ever. So this is a 1603 Teutonic Knights taller. The obverse shows Grandmaster Maximilian. Its design is based on the first taller made in 1486. These are extremely hard to find undamaged and original. So this one went through the NGC and came back with a nice AU-55. And I mean, he's right. I like the detail on the reverse is really good with the knight in armor on a horse.
That's super cool. I have no knowledge about these tollers, but I mean, we get a fair few of them in at work with our world expert and our world department. And man, for being what they are, there are some really, really cool ones. And this is definitely one of them.
And this next one proves that, you can collect anything and you can find cool stuff in it to collect. So this is a Disney dollar, but it's an error dollar. So the Dalmatian is misspelled.
Oh, it sure is. I didn't notice that. Rare Disney dollar errors.
Right. Yeah. Dalmatian misspelled. Yeah. Yeah. With an O.
You had to check, didn't you?
I did. I really did. Marcus Davis. This coin completes my MS Silver Eagle collection. Truth be told, I remember hearing about this error back in 2008, but I have no idea what the difference is. So he has a 2008 reverse of 2007 and doesn't know what the error is. So if you look at the U in United, there is no serif on the U. Whereas on the 2008, it was the first year that they started using digital hubbing and digital die making. And so they had to change the font, and the font that they used had a serif on the U. So starting in 2008, they have a serif. This is a 2008 with a 2007 reverse. That makes it a mule. And that's why, and that's what the difference.
That's one of the nerdiest things I've ever heard you say, which is incredible.
Thank you. Let's see. Archie Nalda. Philippine coin. Let's see, this Philippine half, 1908.
There you go.
David Massey has a PCGS anniversary holder on a Missouri it's a 2x4. 65
sure is,
plus.
Yeah. That's a nice coin.
That's
a got a 65 and a 66.
Nice.
With some green beans.
Yeah. More green beans than Del Monte. Bob Brooks snagged this Morgan for $900 before the prices took off.
That's a date.
In VF20. Yeah, that's a good one. And John Adcock, last but not least, I think this top pop is pretty cool. So he has a 70S and Proof 69 star.
Interesting.
And that closes out the coolest things for you guys this week. I think brings another hour of merriment and fun making to an end. Russ, I cannot thank you enough for being my guest. I hope that you will not hold this against me at work and that you'll come back sometime.
I will hold anything against you you'd like, but yes, I would love to come back.
Okay, awesome. So thank you to Russ for guest hosting for Matt this week. Thanks to our producer, the unknown person, and thanks to the unknown source, unnamed source, and all the other people that help us put this together. Thanks to you who listened, because without you, the entire endeavor would be completely pointless. Check out our webpage. You can find all of our stuff on Instagram now, on Reddit, Russ has got a cool thread on Reddit going. You want to tell him about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So I have been on Reddit for a really long time, longer than I care to admit. And I decided I should probably post some coin content instead of other content. So you can find me under my username. It's MIL space, well, not a space, MIL dash numismatist. You will find me hanging out in the coins forum and a couple other subreddits. I post a lot of stuff that just kind of comes in at our shop at Harlan J. Burke a lot, and just kind of throw out some educational stuff. If anybody ever needs help, I try to help people out with questions they have. It's a really good time. You should definitely check out the subreddits because there's some really cool conversations that go on there too.
So for the Coin Show, I am Mike, and on behalf of Russ Bega, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time on episode 218 of the Coin Show podcast. So long, everybody.
You've been listening to the Coin Show podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman. Tune in next time when the boys bring you another exciting episode. You can find them wherever you get your podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, on our website at www.coinshowradio.com. You can also join our private Facebook group where everyone sees every post. Just search Facebook for Friends of the Coin Show and ask to join. If you'd like more, you can become a subscriber on Facebook or join our Patreon at www.patreon.com/thecoinshow. If you sign up at the $5 month level or higher, you'll have access to exclusive content on patreon.com on the off weeks, including the Not the Coin Show podcast. Thanks for listening to the longest running coin podcast in the world of numismatics.
This has been the one and only, the original. This has been the Coin Show Podcast.
We were doing our thing.
Hey, fellas. As the unnamed, very, very sickly producer of the show, I'm going to let you guys hang out here for a little bit with the folks if you'd like.
Yeah, thanks. Matt, feel better, bud.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, feel better.
trying.
Thanks for doing this.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, guys. I'd hate to put the show off again, so here we are.
We improvised, we adapted, we overcame.
That's true, and I'll also have to relay what people are saying.
Now make me the host.
I can't.
Before you go, so while we were doing this, earlier in the day, I reached out to CAC, and I now have John's personal number.
Ooh,
and
don't give it out. We're still live.
And I'm going to work out something to do some content with him that I will bring to you.
Yay, that'll be fun.
Nice.
That'll be so fun. Let's see. Let me go back through the chat here.
And I took care of that. I'm the host now.
Oh, okay.
He's the captain.
James was on it tonight. James Crandall, thank you so much for hanging out with us. He asked a real good question. Where was it? Here it is. Do you think the migration to certified coin collecting will cause a decline in the pursuit of knowledge regarding coin characteristics, authentication, and grading, making it an easier hobby? He's basically asking that as more people depend on certified coins, is that going to dumb down the industry and the hobby?
I think they thought that 35 years ago.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's only going to make I think it'll make the hobby better in the long run. I do have a problem with some people that rely too much on an opinion, because that's what grading is.
Nobody in your mind in particular is there.
Nobody in my mind in particular that I would ever cop to while sober. But yeah, I mean, it does dumb down the hobby a little bit on some very technical things. Some people, they see a slab and they miss the forest for the trees. You know, what it says on the slab is the God's honest truth. Even when you have guys like Jack that show that coins that are not authentic also can make it into slabs. Again, it's an opinion.
We'll make mistakes. I mean, that happens all the time.
If you guys pay attention to the content that I make, I did a video the other day of an NGC 21 silver dollar that was in an AU58 holder that's like a 35 or a 40 maybe. So
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I have no idea how they graded that coin, and I had it graded. I was the submitter.
Yeah, we submitted a lot of proof walkers last year that all came back. It was a mechanical error. Somebody had put MS instead of PF, but they came back labeled as MS coins. People make mistakes. Yeah. Yes, they're big companies. Yes, you're giving them oodles of money.
Oh, and I know. When I take this coin back to them, they're going to say, "Oh, that was just a mechanical error. We'll fix that for you."
Yeah, we meant AU 35.
Yeah, we meant 35, not 58. Sorry, fat fingered that one. Also, it just came out today. I did the Coin Shop podcast the other day. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. That was fun.
I am still in the process of watching it.
That was
but
fun hanging out with those guys.
They look like they were very cool.
Yeah, we had a good time. So if you guys get a chance, go check that out. What was I going to say? Let me read. I'm still reading through comments here, fellas. So. Sorry, I just couldn't talk a whole lot tonight, everybody. That's here still. I got a little bit in me, but I've been sick for 2 weeks, so at least we got you guys a show, and I'm happy for that. And Russ was awesome. Thank you, Russ, by the way. That was
my pleasure.
That was
You're
amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see. Barry Swan. Matt, happy 40th. Hey, thank you, Barry. It was a couple weeks ago, but I'm feeling it.
And I'm glad I have my youth.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
For now. I mean, just look at Mike. He's like almost 70.
It's been 84 years.
83.
James said also that he got the first 4 myths talking about the coin, the Robin Hood, Maid Marian, Little John, and King Arthur. He's also waiting to see what's next. He has the first 2 BU Tudor Beast, the Lion of England, and the Yale of Beaufort.
Yeah, the Yale of Beaufort.
Beaufort or Beaufort?
It's Beaufort, I think.
And then also talking about the story where we were talking about sales tax. He said Kentucky and Delaware were the last to end slavery, so they have a history of being tardy to the party.
Well, okay, but technically, Texas was really the last one to end slavery. But that's whole Juneteenth thing. That's
Originary.
Wow. Yeah. So and then Barry said party at Central States. We need to start thinking about Central States, boys.
Yes, Central States is coming up when? May?
No, end of April.
You're going to DNA, right?
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I haven't decided yet. I'm probably going to get talked into going. I probably won't have a table.
Guess who else is going?
You?
No.
Russ? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I may have to go now.
That's what I said.
Okay. I will have a table at Central States. I am planning on bringing my audio equipment this time.
Okay.
So we can have all sorts of fun at the show. We can set up and get all of our nerdy coin friends together and have a talk about coins. We could even do a live stream from the floor, I think.
Yeah, it's always the Wi-Fi that gets to us.
Well, I have a mobile hotspot, and it's pretty decent there. So
hey, I'm all in. You know me.
We'll try it, and then we can get together.
Go.
Get together with anybody that wants to hang out with us. I'm in. We gotta figure out Russ's audio. It was a little crunchy tonight.
Oh no.
No, you're fine. I just keep hearing a little bit of echoiness. It's no big deal. The show's fine.
Yeah, no, I hear that as well, but I think it's just a glitch.
It's the ghost in the Matrix. Ghost in the computer.
Got to try something new, right? That's what happens.
That's right. All right, fellas. Well, thank you guys again.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No.
Thanks everybody for hanging out.
Yes.
This was definitely was an action-packed show.
Yep, it was. If you guys had fun, give it a like, give it a follow, give it a send some stars, do whatever. You don't have to do anything, but whatever you do, we enjoy it. Thank you. We appreciate all of you. So, I guess that being said, Mike, do you have anything else?
Oh,
Russ, do you got anything else?
Good night and good luck.
Some of you may die, which is a